Going through a breakup is an emotional roller coaster even on a good day. And the fact that we're in the middle of a pandemic can make it even harder to get back on your feet. So we talked to a sexologist and a relationship expert to get some advice on how to cope with a breakup while also coping with COVID-19. I'm Nicole Ellis, and this is the new normal.
Coping and all the ways we would usually shift our mind from this heartbreak are not available to us. We can't go to the spa, go to the bar with our friends. We can't go just take a yoga class and just breathe it all out because we're stuck at home.
It's like a double dose of grief. You got very used to being around somebody and sort of having your routine together and the things you did together. And so that is missing. So you've got to replace that with something.
What are some of the effects of not being able to be intimate with anyone else, meaning get a hug or have that kind of physical connection that you may have been used to because you spent most of your time with another person or being intimate with another person?
One of the biggest things I would say not to do is isolate yourself. Remember that physical distancing does not necessarily mean social distancing.
We have to be more communicative. We have to reach out and not just hope our friends get it or they saw what happened on social media. They should reach out to me. It's kind of like if you see something, say something. If you feel something, say something.
It's normal to feel sad, hurt, angry, even confused. And when we feel rejected, we tend to go to what's wrong with me. I want people to talk to themselves the way they would talk to a best friend.
Don't feel guilt about feeling sad about your own situation when there are bigger sadnesses going on. There's room for grief for everything.
Dr. Stubbs and Dr. Feuerman both recommend a clean break, especially now that we're in the middle of a pandemic.
That means social media, blocking, removing, no creepy stalking, because the temptation is going to be there.
I'm someone that believes in no contact to help you heal after a breakup, or otherwise you're prolonging the pain. Distraction is really helpful to kind of interrupt that endless loop. One thing that people have now is the gift of time. I would say this is the perfect time to start that new hobby, that new interest, something that you maybe didn't have time to do because you were spending so much time in that relationship.
Caress yourself. You can be your own soothing system. Feeling how that feels, hug a pillow, hug a pet. There are ways to feel that, really good sense of like, I'm being held, I'm being supported.
And finally, cut yourself some slack.
Don't think of healing as a linear process. It's not like day 1, day 5, day 10. I'm great, we're done. It's gonna be a constant up and down battle because we're not experiencing grief in a vacuum. News is constantly changing. That, impacts how we're able to spend time on grieving. So give yourself permission to grieve in a variety of ways.
We'll keep covering topics like this over the coming weeks, so stay tuned. For more stories like this, subscribe to The Washington Post on YouTube.